Hello everyone, happy Sunday. I love you, sending you a very big virtual hug wherever you are on the earth plane in this now moment. I want to talk about the matrix. I got a question or more of a comment that I really want to dive deeper into. I think it's a really good kind of comment. It was about, well, if we're really trying to get out of the matrix, why are we using Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, yoga clothes, having a job where we make money, right? And so let's dissect the matrix for a second because it's really important. First of all, what is it? So we are standing in a third dimensional field. A field is a spectrum of consciousness. We're also standing in a quantum field. So in a quantum field, everything exists. Everything, every dimension, every frequency, every consciousness, every being, everything exists in the quantum. Now, when you narrow that down to the earth plane, okay, let's just talk about the majority of the human collective, okay? The majority of the human collective is standing in a third dimensional field, which is more like a web of consciousness. And when you drop down into it, into the human body, and you are standing in that third dimensional field, you're in a web. You're in a matrix-like system where the consciousnesses that are in a third dimension dictate the way you're going to experience your reality. So there are going to be programs, systems, people, animals, all kinds of stuff that you're going to experience based on this matrix. It is all just one of many matrices and dimensional fields that we have access to. Now, the only way that you are able to step out of a matrix or a dimensional web, an energetic web, is that you vibrate out of it. Your body starts to hold frequencies that are higher than the web. And when that happens, you don't physically leave the matrix. You still stand in that lower dimensional matrix, but you are now aware through higher states of consciousness based on the fact that your body is holding higher frequencies. You're now aware of what you are in. You're now aware of the programs, the systems, the way the web works. That is what it means when you say you are exiting the matrix. You don't physically go somewhere else. You don't not participate in this matrix. You're standing in it. You have to live, okay? You have to eat and breathe this matrix. But when you are exiting it, when you are stepping out of it, you now see it for what it is, and it creates freedom. You are free from the matrix, which means that you now choose. You choose how you want to be as you are standing in a third dimensional matrix. From a higher state of consciousness, because your body is now holding higher frequencies. So now you are no longer programmed. You are now choosing. You're choosing, you're aware that yoga clothes are part of a matrix. Big deal. Having a job and making money is part of the matrix. Big deal. Our health system is part of the matrix. Big deal. What's a great deal, what's a powerful deal is that I get to choose now from a higher state of consciousness how I want to participate while I stand in the matrix. And as we start shifting into these higher states of consciousness, we become empowered. We become sovereign. We become free. We unshackle from the systems that we're standing in, from the web that we're standing in. So you are in the matrix, but you are not of the matrix. You are using a lens that is of a higher state of consciousness. So it's like you're watching the movie. You're participating in it the way you are choosing to because you're a creator being. When you step out of a third dimensional web of matrix, you realize that you're the only one that has ever been in charge and that you are not a victim to this and that you are choosing everything. You're a creator being. So there's this notion of like, well, if you're if you're exiting the matrix, then you shouldn't be doing this and you shouldn't be doing that. No, it's called being a human. And part of being a human is enjoying the humanness of this experience. What it means to exit the matrix is that you are now recognizing what you are in, the programs that you have been experiencing yourself in, such as behaviors, limiting beliefs, contracts, relationships, victimhood, control, manipulation, fear-based systems that tell you what to do. When you wake up out of and step out of the matrix, you now see all of that. You now see it all. And so every choice and every decision is used from that lens. That is stepping out of the matrix. That is freedom. That is sovereignty. That is empowerment. That is choice. And that is being in higher states of consciousness. So again, you don't actually physically leave the matrix. You stand in it. That's what makes us so courageous as beings of light that are on the front lines, charging forward, pulling the human collective into higher states of consciousness, is that we still stand in the midst of it. We don't go anywhere. We stand in the matrix, but we are not of it. It's like we have these little like Yoda eyes, right? We're like little Jedis, and we see everything now. And we're like, oh, I see that. That's how humans do it. That's cool. I'll participate. That's a choice. That's not victimhood. You know you're in the matrix. You know you're playing in the matrix from a higher state of consciousness, so you're not of the matrix. It's a very different way of being. I'll say that again. It's very powerful. You see the matrix playing out. You recognize the patterns, the programs, the ways that they manipulate the humans and control the humans with fear. You see all the patterns, all the things that the human does, and you choose, I think I'll do that. I think I'll go to that restaurant and pay that bill and pay that tip to that waiter. I think I'll go and get a tan at a tanning salon or go to a yoga class. Yep, I'm going to play in that system that is available in this third dimensional matrix. What I'm not going to do, perhaps, in this third dimensional matrix is let systems tell me what to do, systems tell me what to fear, systems tell me what to do with my body, etc., etc. We have to be in this, but we don't have to be of it. And we're a lot smarter, many of us, as we shift into higher states of consciousness, right? We recognize that at this now moment, many of us still need money. We still have to pay taxes or we still have to pay bills. From a higher state of consciousness, you are using the lens of, I'm in a matrix. I'm playing this video game. So be it. But I'll tell you one thing. I'm in charge. I'm choosing. I'm choosing. That's the difference. Nobody's controlling me anymore. Nobody's manipulating me anymore. And these systems and programs that have been in place, including people pleasing, including codependency, including victimhood, including addictions, including there's so many things, right? That's part of the programmed way of being in this matrix. And when you start to see what you have been in, then you can exit out of it and you're free. So again, we're standing in the matrix. This third dimensional matrix, we're standing in it. We're not going anywhere. But we're not of it anymore. We're free. And that's what we're doing with the entire human collective. Until eventually enough of us have pulled so many humans into these higher states that we start to stand in a fifth dimensional matrix at the exact same time. Welcome to the quantum field. You will be in both matrices at the same time, and many of you already are. Many of you are standing in a third and a fifth. This is the quantum field. It is not one or the other. It is both at the exact same time. This linear way of thinking that it has to be one way or the other goes out the window when you start shifting into higher states of consciousness, because you remember that it's all quantum. It's all now. I hope this makes sense. And I love you. Thanks for being here.